Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. I begin with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Simon Nas, and today we are going to discuss biomolecules. This is the topic I have picked almost from center of the course Biometabolism with the code CAM 3119. The key concepts I'm going to give you today are about biomolecules, major biomolecules, carbohydrates, lipids, protein, nucleic acids, and enzymes. What are organic biomolecules? These are the chemicals or molecules present in the living organisms are known as biomolecules. Living organisms are made up of a variety of micro and macro molecules, but few have specific importance. The sum total of different types of biomolecule compounds and ions present in a cell is known as cellular pool. Cell consists of a variety of macro and micromolecules. We cannot see these micro and macromolecules with the naked eye. The sum total of different types of biomolecular compounds and ions present in a cell is known as cellular pool. Biomolecules are compounds of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen usually. These are also known as organic compounds, as organic compounds consist of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. So backbone of biomolecule is also made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Carbon is unique because it has 4 valency electrons. It can form single, double, and triple covalent bonds with other elements. It can form chains or rings as well. No doubt hydrogen and oxygen are also important, but carbon has unique features. Major organic macro or biomolecules are carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids, and enzymes. Let us study one by one these macromolecules in detail. First one is carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are used as the main source of energy by all living things. Or you can see these are the storehouses of energy. They contain the elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in a ratio 1 to 1. Broken down as sugars for cells to carry out cellular activities, for example, cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Carbohydrates are broken down into simple sugars for the cells to carry out cellular activities like cellular respiration and photosynthesis, etc. In cellular respiration, glycolysis, photosynthesis, Krebs cycle, electron transport chain, prime sugars are used to carry out various activities in these biochemical cycles. And sugars are broken down into various precursor molecules to carry out the cyclic processes in their biomolecular reactions. Monomer or building blocks of carbohydrates are known as monosaccharides. Monosaccharides unite to form polysaccharides, and these polysaccharides are basically carbohydrates. A simple sugar is composed of one or two monosaccharides. For example, glucose plus glucose give us galactose, glucose plus glucose give us maltose, glucose plus fructose give us sucrose. They are all examples of simple sugars. Glucose, galactose, and fructose are all examples of simple sugars. These are present in sugarcane, in grapes, as well as in milk, as well as in various types of fruits. When three or more monosaccharides combine, they form what is known as polysaccharide or complex sugar. Poly means many. Polysaccharides are also called as glycans. Examples of variety of polysaccharides present in variety of intake intake materials in routine are bread, rice, pasta, and potatoes. Glucose plus fructose combine to form sucrose. Sucrose is a cane sugar we use in routine. Glucose plus glucose give us maltose we use in various dairy products. Some common polysaccharides are mostly animal stores excess sugar as glycogen to be used when needed by muscles for the contraction or relaxation or low blood sugar. Animal stores their extra carbohydrates in the form of glycogen and they use this glycogen for the energy purposes when their blood sugar is low or for the purpose of muscle contraction or relaxation. Plants store their excess sugar in the form of starch. This is the difference between stored polysaccharides of plants as well as in animals. Cellulose is another important polysaccharide. It found in plants which gives plants rigidity and flexibility. Second major macromolecule is lipids as we have studied carbohydrates. Lipids are present in various shapes, for example, as fats, waxes, oils, and steroids. Any of derivatives group of organic compounds including fats, oils, hormones, and certain components of membranes that are grouped together because they do not interact appreciably with water. Fat, waxes, oils, and steroids are hydrophobic substances. They do not interact with water as well as they do not dissolve in water. Lipids are used to store energy. They also contain elements like carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but not in exact ratio of 1 to 1 as present in carbohydrates. Lipids are insoluble as they do not dissolve in water. Lipids are building blocks of majority of the substances. Glycerol and long chain fatty acids are joined to form lipids. Usually, long chain fatty acids are present in two types, saturated and unsaturated. Saturated lipids are those in which backbone of carbon to carbon contains only single bond. They are saturated because no extra bond can added to or can be added in the backbone of carbon to carbon single bond. They are saturated, they are present in the form of butter, margarine, or ghee. Unsaturated fatty acids are present. There is a difference between saturated and unsaturated is that in unsaturated the carbon to carbon double bond is present in the backbone of fatty acid molecule. Oils present in nuts and we extract from flowers and seeds etc. are the example of unsaturated fatty acids. We can classify lipids into three classes: simple lipids, complex lipids, and derived lipids. Simple lipids are fats and oils or waxes. Complex lipids are phospholipids, glycolipids, and lipoproteins. Derived lipids are steroids and terpenoids. They are known as derived because they are derived from simple and complex lipids. Some lipids are important parts of biological membrane. Phospholipids contain hydrophilic heads and hydrophobic tails. As you can see in this picture, a cross-sectional area of cell membrane. It is made up of phospholipids, and phospholipids are the molecules that contain hydrophilic heads and hydrophobic tails. And the waterproof covering such as plasma membrane of the cell and cuticle of plants are made up of phospholipids. Let us see brief about proteins. Like carbohydrates and lipids, proteins are also play an important role for various biological processes occurring in life. Proteins are used to form bones and muscles. They are used to transport substances into or out of cells. Proteins are help in fighting against diseases. Protein also control rate of chemical reactions and regulate cell processes. Proteins contain elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, as well as sulfur. Monomers or building blocks of proteins are known as amino acids. Amino acids unite or polymerize to form proteins. The general structure of an amino acid you can see in this picture. It consists of an amino group on the left side of carbon containing positive charge. It also contains carboxylic group on the right side of carbon containing negative charge. On the upper side you can see a hydrogen is attached with the carbon. On the lower side you can see R group variant. The portion of each amino acid that is different is the side chain called R group. In this table, you can see classification of amino acids. Amino acids are usually neutral in character. They contain both positive charges as well as negative charges and counterpart each other. They are slightly acidic or slightly basic because of extra number of acidic or basic group along with the primary carboxylic and amino group in their chain. On the basis of nature, they may be neutral, they may be acidic, basic, sulfur containing, alcoholic, aromatic, or heterocyclic. Neutral amino acids are those which have one amino and one carboxylic group. For example, glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, and isoleucine. Acidic amino acids contain one extra carboxylic group like aspartic acid, asparagine, glutamic acid, and glutamine. Basic amino acids containing one extra amino group like arginine and lysine. Sulfur containing amino acid have sulfur in their basic structure like cysteine and methionine. Alcoholic amino acids having alcohol group like serine, threonine, and tyrosine. Aromatic amino acids having cyclic structure like phenylalanine and tryptophan. Heterocyclic amino acid having nitrogen in their ring structure. For example, histidine and proline. Different types of amino acids you can see in this picture like aspartic acid, lysine, tyrosine, glutamic acid, arginine, and histidine. They are different from each other because of the presence of R group, vary from each other. In aspartic acid, it consists of an acidic group. Extra COOH is attached. In lysine, it contained an extra amino carbon group. In tyrosine, it contains phenolic ring. And benzene, attached to benzene. In glutamic acid, you can see COOH along with two extra carbons. In arginine, triple amino group is present. In histidine, there is a ring along with two extra nitrogens. What are peptides and how peptides are formed? Amino acids are linked serially by a peptide bond known as CONH bond. It is formed between the amino group of one amino acid and carboxylic group of the adjacent amino acid. Peptide formation is usually a condensation process in which a water molecule is removed. One amino group participate and hydrogen of one amino group and OH of the carboxylic group are used and a water molecule is released. Chain having two amino acids linked by a peptide bond is known as dipeptide or dipeptide chain. The sequence of amino acids present in a polypeptide is specific for a particular protein. We can classify proteins on the basis of various functions they are performed. They may be structural proteins like keratin and collagen that take part in the structure formation of cells. Keratins play a very important role for hair, nails, as well as in muscles. Similarly, collagen. Enzymatic proteins like pepsin work as an enzyme. They catalyze or speed up various biochemical processes. Transport proteins like hemoglobin. It is present in blood and function as transfer of substances from one cell to other cell. Hormonal proteins like insulin and growth hormone. Contractile proteins like actin and myosin present in muscles. They help for the contraction and relaxation of muscles. Storage proteins like ovalbumin and hemp. Genetic proteins like nucleoproteins. Defensive proteins like immunoglobulins. Receptor proteins, for example, dopamine receptor, insulin receptors, etc. We can classify proteins like as we have classified carbohydrates. Proteins may be simple, they may be conjugated, they may be derived. Simple proteins are globular proteins and fibrous proteins. Based upon their structure, they may be classified as globular or fibrous. Globular proteins are albumin, globulin, and histones, whereas fibrous proteins are collagen, elastin, and keratin. Conjugated proteins including nucleoproteins, glycoproteins, mucoproteins, lipoproteins, phosphoproteins, chromoproteins, and metalloproteins. Derived proteins are primary derived or secondary derived. Primary derived are coagulated proteins, proteins, metaproteins, whereas secondary derived proteins are proteases, protons, and peptides. You can see four examples of variety of proteins. Proteins are present in fish, egg, meat, chicken, pulses in cereals, in nuts and variety of grains, as well as proteins are present in milk, yogurt and butter, etc. Now let us discuss four type of macromolecules known as nucleic acids. As its name indicates, they are present in nucleus of cell. Nucleic acids perform the function of transmit or store genetic or hereditary information. They take part in cell division and cell distribution. They transmit genetic material from one cell to another cell. They contain elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, as well as phosphorus. There are two types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Monomers or building blocks of nucleic acids are nucleotides. A nucleotide contains a 5 carbon sugar, a phosphate group, and nitrogenous base. DNA is known as deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA is known as ribonucleic acids. Both are different on the basis of nitrogenous base. You can see in this picture, in green color there is nitrogenous base, in yellow color there is a phosphate group, and in blue color you can see a sugar molecule. Combine these three substances and arrange themselves in the form of chain, they form a nucleotide. There are two types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA is double-stranded where RNA is single-stranded. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA is ribonucleic acid. DNA consists of adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine nitrogenous bases, whereas RNA consists of adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil nitrogenous bases. The fifth major macromolecules is enzymes. What are enzymes or what is an enzyme? Enzymes are called as biological catalyst. Catalyst is a chemical substance that take part in a chemical reaction to speed up its conversion from reactants to products. It do not participate either in the reactants or in products. It only perform the function of speed up of a chemical reaction. Enzymes are usually proteinous substances produced by living cells under the instructions of genes. Enzymes are enhance the rate of chemical reaction. Enzymology is the branch of science that deals with the study of enzymes in all the aspects like nomenclature, its reactions and functions. Enzymes occur in colloidal state and are often produced in inactive form called proenzymes or zymogen. Which are converted to their active forms by specific factors like pH, substrate, etc. The enzymes that are produced within a cell for metabolic activities are known as endoenzymes, and those which act away from the sites of synthesis are known as exoenzymes. There are two types of enzymes, endoenzymes and exoenzymes. There are few general properties of enzymes and there are few factors affecting the activity of enzymes. What are these? Number 1, enzymes accelerate the reaction but do not initiate it. Enzymes themselves do not participate in the reaction and remains unchanged at the end of the reaction. Enzymes are therefore needed in very small amounts. The molecule of an enzyme is larger than that of substrate molecule and hence during reaction a specific part of enzyme molecule comes in contact with the substrate molecule. This part is known as active site of the enzyme. Enzymes are amphoteric in nature, Chemically, most of the enzymes are proteins and therefore show amphoteric nature. The enzymes can react with acidic substances as well as with alkaline substances. Enzymes are specific in nature. Most of the enzymes are specific in their action as well. A single enzymes act upon a single substrate or a group of closely related substrates. But a single enzyme do not act upon too many substrates at the same time or at any other substrate that do not match with him. For example, the enzymes urease can act only upon urea, invertase can only act upon sucrose. A slight change in the configuration of the substrate molecules require action by a different enzyme. Like enzyme, substrates are also specific. A specific enzyme can only attach with the specific substrate. Enzymes are colloidal in nature. All enzymes are colloidal and thus provide larger surface area for the reaction to take place. They are colloidals, they are gel-like, they are mixture of two components, dispersed particles and dispersion medium. The size of dispersed particle is larger than the dispersion medium. Enzyme optima is a term used for the optimum conditions of temperature or pH or at any other condition at which enzyme shows its optimum or maximum activity. Enzymes generally work best under certain narrow and defined conditions referred as optima. These include appropriate temperature and pH. Temperature sensitivity. Since the enzymes are proteins, they are affected by change in temperature. With increase in temperature, increase in enzyme activity takes place up to 40 Celsius. Every 10 centidegree rise in temperature can increase the activity of enzyme double fold. But up to 40 Celsius enzyme activity remains continuous. When temperature increases above 60 Celsius, the proteins undergo denaturation or even complete breakdown. When the temperature is reduced to freezing point or below freezing point, the enzymes become inactivated, but they are not completely destroyed. The rate of reaction is more at optimum temperature. Below freezing point, the enzyme do not work well as above optimum or highest temperature enzymes do not work. Enzymes are pH sensitive. Most of the enzymes are specific to pH and remains active with the particular range of pH. A strong acid or strong base denature the enzymes. Most of the intracellular enzymes function best around neutral pH. Concentration of enzyme and substrate. The rate of reaction is proportionate to the concentration of reacting molecules. If the substrate concentration is increased, the rate of enzyme action also increases up to a certain limit. Beyond a certain concentration, the enzyme molecule remains saturated with substrate molecule and the activity becomes steady. It means substrate concentration is also optimum. At the optimum substrate concentration, enzymes work best. Below or above the optimum concentration of the substrate, enzymes do not work properly or speedily. Enzyme inhibitors are the certain products which inhibit enzyme activity. During the reaction, if the active site of enzyme is occupied by these inhibitors instead of substrate molecules, the activity of enzyme is also lost. These substances are like substrate molecules in their structure and are known as competitive inhibitors. A group of enzymes you can see in this chart and the reactions they catalyze, you can see the examples of that enzymes. Oxidoreductases, as their name indicates, they transfer oxygen or hydrogen atoms or electrons from one substrate to another. Examples are dehydrogenases and oxidases. Second one, transferases, as their name indicates, they transfer a specific group from one substrate to other. They are transaminases. Hydrolases, they perform the function of hydrolysis of substrate. They break down the water molecules of substrate. Digestive enzymes are example of hydrolases. Isomerases, they change the molecular form of the substrate and produce its isomer. Phosphohexose isomerase is an example of isomerases. Lyases, they are non-hydrolytic removal or perform the function of addition of a group to a substrate. Decarboxylase aldolase is the example of lyases. Ligases, they perform the function of joining two molecules by the formation of new bonds. The citric acid synthase is an example of ligase. This is the assignment for you, dear students. You have to solve these questions. Question number 1, what is the difference between simple and complex sugar? Name some simple and complex sugars. Question number 2, compare lipids and carbohydrates. In case if you are starving, which of these biomolecules will you prefer? Question number 3, what are the differences between DNA and RNA? Question number 4, what are the factors that affect the activity of enzymes? These are the recommended books for you. You can also search these topics from these books. Good luck. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.